Hi guys, how we doing? We're back. We're gonna do another spooky reaction video. I don't know where the weeks are flying by, but scary stuff. What is scary is we're very near Christmas already. Hope you're all well though. Hope you're doing okay. Hope you're all set, ready to celebrate if you do so. Um, we're gonna go back to BizarreBub. I think we have come across this channel once or twice. We thought we'd give them another view, see what it's all about. This is just Scary Compilation V109. So I'm assuming they just have a pretty standard title and just roll the numbers up as they go. We're going to give this one a watch. Let's hope there's some good stuff that we haven't seen before. If you wouldn't mind popping by BizarreBub's channel, the link is in the description. Drop them a sub, hit the thumbs up on the original video, hit the thumbs up on this video and share it about. Leave your thoughts on any of the clips we're about to see, so we can have a discussion about it and try and generate some sort of engagement around the channel. We're doing quite well actually. We've grown a few subs and things the last few weeks, so very grateful for you all for showing some support in doing that. As I said, if you share it about, even just leaving your thoughts and stuff, hit the thumbs up on the video. It does draw attention to the videos on the channel, and hopefully we can make some good growth by the end of the year into the new year. In the meantime, let's get the cans on, give it a watch, and let's open some good spooky stuff that we haven't come across prior.
On November 14 of 2025, a small family rents out an Airbnb for a few days, unaware that they would encounter something very unsettling while staying there. They had booked the place in advance for an upcoming wedding that was out of town, so staying here made sense. But one night, after coming back from walking their dog, this happens.
We were just out walking my dog, and when we came in, we heard...
Right? What? Isn't that just the wind? No? The dog doesn't look at me like...
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Not just a breeze from somewhere? Wait, there will, if you've created a vacuum and you shut the window like, there will be some sort of airflow disruption. Now that is a bit peculiar.
Somehow, the leash on her dog's collar suddenly jolts up in a quick motion before
That's
wrapping itself around her dog. It just flings up as if someone had chucked it upwards, but clearly, no one is seen on the stairs to have done that, which is very odd considering that just moments ago this was heard. Now Sydney, who recorded this video, was just as baffled as the Airbnb host who received this video from her. But this wouldn't be the only video she sends, because the next day, while placing the leash on the stairs to see if it would jump again, this is captured.
I was just, my thought was, as she got something like a string attached to it or something, and when she's got the top, she just yanked it to make it do that. It would have to be quite a long thread. That's bizarre.
Okay, so this is the leash. There she goes again. I don't think the leash is gonna move, but she's definitely sensing something.
Pretty cool dog though. Which is after something like, there is something not right.
Every single day.
Although the leash doesn't move this time, her dog goes ahead and does this. For some reason, it's at the same time the leash is on the steps that her dog begins to search for something. But like before, nothing appears to be there. Sydney even checks the rug to see if anything on or under it was making her dog behave this way. But still, nothing. However, there's something in this video that's worth pointing out, and it's a detail that appears in other videos that Sydney recorded of her dog. Watch closely.
So I wanted to show you guys some footage of my dog with these stairs.
The bloody rug thing looks pretty freaking dangerous anyhow, to be fair. Isn't that? Would you not just slip down that?
So here's another
It
clip
doesn't
that I
seem to be
got of her
secured.
doing it, walk over and see her, and she was so
She's
locked in.
fixated on
Now,
something.
if you
like
didn't
this.
notice, in each video, Sydney's dog is always around a certain area of the stairs. It's always the middle or lower half of the steps, but never the top. If it wasn't for this detail, Sydney would not have realized this.
So I think I figured out why my
There's a
dog
join there.
just
Something to do with
is
that?
always hanging out right here. So I just found a door back here. So I don't think that it's what's on the stairs. I tried to check, but the door is locked. Obviously it's an Airbnb, so they lock a lot of the doors up. Yeah, I don't think that it's what's on the stairs like what I initially thought. I think it's
Possibly.
what's below.
Not a bad
Considering
theory.
that the space is on the ground, it explains why her dog is never seen on top. She seems to be sensing something that's in this room. But the question is, what exactly is she sensing? Wanting to find out, Sydney and her sister probe around the space to see what it might be that's inside. But during this moment, while recording, they capture this.
So this is the switch. You guys can see their light is on right there. I wonder if it's...
Just imagine there's something right behind the door.
What?
Oh my god.
Is it
Almost
open?
immediately after Sydney pulls out her phone, the doorknob suddenly turns. Although no one was seen on the other side, the door handle moves as if held from the other end. Now Sydney was under the impression that a person had turned the knob, so they reach out to the Airbnb host and ask if anyone else is renting the place.
Sent the video to the landlord of the Airbnb, and hold on, let me turn asking like, hey, is there someone else renting it out as well as us or what? Because basically he was like, no, you guys are the only ones that are
It would be odd
in
for
the
the light
Airbnb
switch
right
to
now,
be
like, booked
inside
out
there, like if it's
After finding out that no one else is inside, Sydney concludes that what happened that night wasn't a case of someone co-renting the house, but rather another paranormal occurrence. To her, this is much preferable over having a stranger inside the house. But despite being at ease now, knowing that it's not a person, the doorknob incident still baffles her. This is so, especially given that it still moves now and then.
patient.
Yeah. Scary. Okay. Okay, every time we've knocked before, this doorknob would turn a little bit.
Isn't that just the door rattling after the knocking though, no? What? So that's the... She's sliding her phone under the door there, I take it. Patiently. Obviously got it back, or they wouldn't have the footage, I'm assuming.
As it turns out, this room was actually a basement. Out of nowhere, the phone gets yanked inside before tumbling down the steps and landing on its face.
Done
But
well
it's
to
before it
survive.
tumbles that something weird happens. If you didn't notice, the phone moves on its own again before falling
It
down.
sort of flipped up a bit.
But of course, the strangest part is when the phone somehow lifts itself. Neither Sydney nor the Airbnb host could explain this. It just rises up before falling back with no footsteps around to suggest that someone was there. It's no wonder why many see this as being paranormal. To Sydney and her sister, that's exactly the case. Whatever had been inside did not seem to like their intrusion, from the leash moving on its own to the phone being pulled inside. It currently remains unknown as to what exactly occurred here, but as with all videos, you be the judge on whether or not something supernatural took place. As always, let me know your thoughts on this one.
That's a pretty intriguing story, to be fair. Whether it is just that or not, I don't know. But surely the phone would have just kept recording and recording until it died, if that was the case, if it had been pulled under like that. So was there not anything else on the footage anywhere? Did they scroll through it? Did they check it? At first I thought it might have been a rat or something to sort of got hold of it and took it down the stairs or whatever, but would it get something like that? And then when it lifted back up again, that was bizarre like. But yeah, living up to the name of the channel, BizarreBub, alright. Good stuff, good start. Let us know your thoughts.
Now, the following video was recorded by a grandmother who lives alone with her dog and 2 cats. However, it appears that her pets aren't the only ones keeping her company, because according to her, there's something in her house that won't leave her alone.
В зеркале было отражение чего-то не очень непонятного. На видео. Я вам всем докажу.
According to Polina, last night she recorded a video of something that appeared in her bedroom. It showed up in the same spot where it often appears, around the mirror. She's been trying to get it on camera as her family believes it's nothing. They believe it's her old age that's making her see things. But after watching this video, they're not so sure now if that's the case. Take a look.
Уходи отсюда. Я тебя не боюсь. Уходи отсюда. Уходи из моего дома. Уходи. Я тебя не боюсь.
I think it's just streaks. What we're looking at here?
Уходи отсюда. Уходи отсюда.
What the fuck?
Я тебя не боюсь.
That's pretty creepy.
Уходи. Уходи, я сказала. Уходи отсюда. Уходи. Я тебя не боюсь.
After Polina realizes that what she'd seen wasn't there, she catches sight of this, a dangling ornament beneath the lamp, moving on its own. However, it wasn't just swaying back and forth as one would expect, it was curving upwards in a strange manner that neither a draft or wind current could cause. Now, whatever happened that night is something that remains uncertain. In either case, whether paranormal or not, just seeing this out of nowhere is unsettling.
That's bizarre.
But one night, Polina decides to record it.
I don't know what we're supposed to be looking at in or around the mirror. I didn't really. I thought it was like an outline or something, but I think it was just streaks on the mirror where they obviously hadn't cleaned it properly. But that movement, it looked like it had been lifted up by something, be it strings or whatever. I don't know, but that's pretty mad.
Again,
Let's see what
because
else happens.
apparently she saw the same figure hiding inside her fireplace. Take a look.
I don't know what figure we're supposed to be seeing. Like, I'm struggling to see anything on there. It's just like a blurry mess.
Like something out of a nightmare, what looks like a head suddenly appears in the fireplace. And the freakiest
Where?
part is that it shows itself right when Polina starts to get close.
something.
It's as if whatever this was had realized she was approaching. Understandably, she was freaked out by this, but more so after going back to the space and seeing the fireplace completely empty now. Like before, what she saw initially is now gone. Now currently, no new videos have been shared by Paulina, whether supernatural or something else. These two clips are without a doubt pretty terrifying.
Like I say, it was hard to make out anything around the mirror. At first I thought it was like a white, looked like a sort of white silhouette in the actual mirror itself, but I think it was just where the streaks were, where she'd been cleaning it or whatever. I couldn't actually make out anything else. And then that fire, there was something did appear. Whether it was a face or whatever these guys are making out, I'm not entirely sure, but those crystals lifting were a different story. Like, that was bizarre, but there's no what you guys think of that. It says there hasn't been any further updates. It'll be interesting to see if anything else comes out down the line.
Now the following video comes from a young mother named Akina, and ever since having her first child, she's been posting numerous videos of her baby boy. It's her first child, so it makes sense that she would want to capture every moment involving her son Ponko. From the time he was born to the moment he got his first playpen, Akina has been sharing lots of memories involving Ponko on her page. However, not every moment has been shared online, and for good reason. On
Again, I go back to, would you fake stuff around your kids?
January 29th of 2024, at around 2:30 in the morning, Akina was dead asleep when she suddenly woke up to something in her bedroom. Thankfully, little Ponko was unaware of what was happening, because during this moment, something pretty frightening happened. The following is what was caught. Take a look.
What? Would you leave your kid in a room if the door had just swung open? What was that? Hamburglar? What? Where's she going? Why would she just get up and... What the hell? What's that creepy noise? Is it just a telly or something? Yeah, I'm assuming it's just whistling on it. What's all this up here as well? This thing seems to be moving. I don't know if it's netting or something. What? Where's she going now? It's a fan that was moving.
It's no wonder why Akina didn't want to share this video initially. Now, besides the fact that the door opens and closes all by itself, there's something Akina mentions that makes this whole video even more terrifying. According to her, at this
when it was pointing, you could see like the stripes, and I thought, but she's wearing stripy jammies or whatever, so it's...
This moment, she had seen a figure standing at the doorway, which looked a lot like her husband. But the weird part about this is that her husband had not come home from work yet. It was only a few hours before he came back, but strangely, to Akina, he was there, just staring at her from a distance. Now clearly, no one is there. However, if you listen closely to the audio, you can hear Akina's security alarm going off as though someone entered the house. It's for this reason she leaves the room to turn it off and to chase her husband, who was walking away at this point. But it's from this moment that things start to get creepier.
It sort of makes a little more sense now if that's the case, but why, I don't know, leaving the band if you're not sure?
Because not long after, Akina acts strange. From standing motionless at the door to quickly coming in and sitting down in a rigid manner, it's almost as if Akina was someone else. But as it turns out, she was just scared. Because after heading downstairs to see where her husband had gone, she saw that all the lights were still off and the door still locked. Her husband, as it seems, was not home yet. Freaked out, she heads back up and sits down while trying to figure out what just happened. If he wasn't home, then who was? She continues to replay this moment in her head despite occurring a while ago, but until it's figured out what happened, she'll continue to keep this video up on her page while sharing more videos of her son. For now, this occurrence remains a mystery.
That's a pretty weird tale, that, like. It's, I don't know, it's hard to get my head around. I mean, obviously, it was her that was stood at the door. I thought it was a stripy shirt, but, she seemed to, she wasn't really talking or anything, though. She was just stood staring. If it was her husband, you'd think she'd say, "Oh, hello, you're back early, bloody whatever," you know, and it's, she just seems to be looking like there's no audio of any speech or anything. It's a weird one, that, mine. That's got us confused. Let us know what you guys make of that.
In this next video, a mother had recently shared a clip that freaked her out after noticing what was in it. One day, while looking at her security cameras, Adrian Dakota notices something inside her living room, but more specifically, around her child's playpen.
I'm saying this one.
She wasn't sure as to what she was seeing, so she zooms in and replays the video to check. It goes without saying, but what she saw continues to keep her up at night. Now, it's important to note that before this incident, Adrian had already been documenting strange things around her house, and for some reason, these occurrences had something to do with her children's toys.
So, we've seen this a couple of times over the last month or two. House is a shithole. It needs to sort that out for one. Toys going off on their own sort of happens every now and then, I guess. But the last bit with the cot is rather strange. Weird clip of that, man. Surprised the band hasn't broken.
Now, it might be easy to write this off as being just a glitch or a toy that's starting to malfunction, but what's strange is that this was happening day after day, one toy turning on after another. And that's without mentioning that during this time, Adrian's daughter had an imaginary friend who she said was very tall. Now, keep this imaginary friend in mind because this detail becomes important much later in the video she recently posted. The reason why she was so freaked out by the toys turning on was because prior to this, her daughter kept mentioning this imaginary friend. And apparently, this so-called friend would show up in places where her daughter said it was, usually inside the house near the toys. Adrian was so frightened by this, but more so by this video, because according to her, while taking care of her second child in another room, something terrifying appears in her living room. This is what she caught.
I don't know what that was. It's the fucking scrap man with these stupid songs blasting out these. He sings any old metal songs and stuff. So yeah, that there, this. What's this? It does look like a kid. Mad.
To Adrian, it appears that someone or something peeks out from behind her baby's playpen. Thankfully, her child wasn't in there during this moment. But strangely, even though no baby was occupying it, the figure itself looks like one. Whether it's just pareidolia or not, it's obvious that something is there. Considering that a bowl just fell off the shelf with no apparent cause, Adrian can't help but wonder if whatever this was had been responsible for the other occurrences before. It is strange how each occurrence involves one of her children's things. Whether it's their toys or their small play enclosure, something unexplainable happens around them. This, of course, brings up the question, could this have been the supposed imaginary friend her daughter had previously mentioned? Or might this be something else entirely? Currently,
Bizarre,
and
innit?
unfortunately, there has yet to be a definitive answer to this question.
And a lot of the other stuff's quite dubious, but that, I mean, is it another pet? Is it, like you said, is it pareidolia? Is it, but she's claiming there's nothing else in the house. And it looks like a person's face, like a young child sort of peering into the pen or whatever. It's weird. It's, the animals react. It's like, it's a strange one, that. Again, we've revisited it a few times and I still can't really comprehend what it could be, to be fair. It's a good one, though. Let us know what you guys think of that.
Now, the following video was submitted to me by Ariane B, who writes that she took this video during a school field trip to the Philippines. It was 2010 when she recorded this, so understandably, the quality isn't that good. But despite being filmed on a cheap cell phone, she was able to capture something pretty noticeable on camera. And of course, what she notices is pretty creepy. According to her, she was taking a tour of an old fortress where many soldiers had lost their lives.
Well, me have
This
come across
fortress
this
is
one
known as
before.
Fort Mills, and the section of this fort that Ariane was touring is known as BizarreBub, a section where both Filipino and American soldiers had sacrificed their lives while defending against invading forces in 1942. While touring BizarreBub, Ariane captures this.
What? Maybe we haven't seen this. It looks very familiar, but I think it's similar to something else. There was... It does seem to move. I thought it might have just been part of the rock. Is it not just the way she's panning the camera in like a digital glitch or something? Because it does look very similar colouring to the rocks and stuff. I know, like you said, it's a shit camera, but
Now, it's been 15 years since this video was taken, and Ariane hadn't realized what was captured until
does seem to pop
rewatching
up
this
and
footage
duck back
recently.
down, whatever
On the
it is,
upper
or is
level
it
of this
not
barrack,
just-
there appears to be something moving, but it doesn't look like a tourist who was just wandering. Rather, it looks like a moving blurb that disappears in an instant. Now, of course, given the camera's low quality, this might have just been a camera artifact, or in other words, a visual glitch. But it's worth noting that this only appears once throughout the entire video. Never again do we see anything like this afterward, suggesting that maybe this wasn't the camera acting up, but instead something that was actually there.
Possibly, but it does look very, very similar to its surroundings.
As Ariane believes, this blurb was most likely the spirit of one of the soldiers who passed away during battle here. Perhaps this is them still living out the same
Unless
scenario
they're
that
wearing
played
very,
out during
very good
1942,
camouflage.
unaware that they're no longer alive. It's a sad thought, but nevertheless, this footage creeps out Ariane. So then, just what exactly was caught on camera at this fort?
Again, it's a good story. It's interesting. It's got history. It's sort of a believable tale in a way, but it's, to me, it just looks like part of the scenery. Whether it's glitching or the way she's moving, sort of pareidolia, like the way she's moving, the way the camera's moving, it sort of looks like it's the object's moving more than it should, or I don't know. It's weird. Well, it's intriguing. Let us know your thoughts on that. It's thought-provoking, put it that way. Good stuff.
If you caught something creepy on camera, or if there's any ghost videos you'd like me to check out and include in the next compilation, you can send them over to scaryvideos444@gmail.com. That being said, let's get back to the video.
Fair enough. Number one.
Now, it's often the case that videos on the paranormal take place inside a home. It's usually the setting that makes small disturbances feel twice as scary, but the same can be said for any place where something that shouldn't occur happens. Such is the case in this next video, where a group of Philippine students had caught something on camera inside an empty restroom, but as you'll see, it definitely wasn't. Take a look.
What the fuck?
Out of nowhere, the sound of a child crying
Harry
emanates
Potter,
from
innit?
inside the restroom. But the
Morning.
thing is, they're nowhere to be
Myrtle
seen.
just got out.
The only thing that is seen are the empty stalls where just moments ago, the door to one of them began to open on its own. But even without seeing this, the voice alone is pretty unnerving. It's enough to make anyone just run away. Now, very little info is available on this clip, but what was captured is just one instance of something supernatural that occurred here. This school is said to be haunted. So then, was a ghost caught on camera, or had something else been captured? Thanks for
Weird
watching,
stuff.
and I hope you enjoyed.
Weird stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, it's like I said, it's pretty thought-provoking, but good stuff nonetheless. So that's BizarreBub, the channel, if you wouldn't mind. As I said at the beginning, the link is in the description. Pop by, drop them a sub, hit the thumbs up on the original video, show them some support. Share this one around, let us know your thoughts in the comments. I'm intrigued to know what you make of a lot of those, to be fair. There's some pretty thought-provoking stuff in there. It's I don't know. It's hard to get my head around a couple of the clips there, but it's interesting. And there's some nice new ones that we haven't seen before there as well. There was a couple we have revisited, but it's all good. It's what it's all about. Nice to get another perspective on it. If you haven't seen it before, let us know what you guys think. In the meantime, yeah, have a good one. We are creeping nearer Christmas, so I hope you all have a good holiday season. And we'll be back soon with some more spooky videos. Sub to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up on this one, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.